Yo, Ralph Horkup in the building. It's been a hot minute since I made a video. I kind of said everything that I needed to say, and I've outlined all of the tools that I'm using. But with that said, we just had this little drop kind of happen, and I was talking with my dad, and I'm like, oh hey, he was telling me, oh, Bitcoin's at 20K, you should buy some more. And I'm like, wow, that just makes me want to hope that it'll drop when you say that. And of course it did. And so I'm like, hey, it's dropping. And he's like, hey, I would actually like to buy some more. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna do it, you should buy the dip, like QFL. And he's like, I don't know how to do it. And so I started walking him through what to do. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I don't have a video about this. And so for this video, this is going to be like the dad proof video. Like if you're a dad, or you might be qualified to be a dad, I'm just going to go over exactly what I did with him. So I use Kraken because, there's less fees. You can use Coinbase. And I'll just really quickly explain, if you buy crypto, most of the time it's like a vending machine. Like you buy it like a Coke. You're like, oh, I'd like to buy some. What's the price? Okay. The way that I'm buying it is I'm trading in an exchange, and the fees are way, way less. Not only that, but you have access to books, and that just means that, if price goes low, then I'm going to get those low prices. Just think about eBay, and you snipe the auctions or something like that. It's the difference between auctions and buy it now on eBay. So my dad is more of a buy it now, and I'm more of an auction type person. So I'm anticipating the price going really, really low, really fast. And I'm going to get that low price because I'm saying, hey, if price goes out low, I'm willing to pledge my money and get it. And so he's like, okay, well, let's do that. So we set him up with Kraken. He bought some USDC, and then we transferred it into US dollar on Kraken. So now he's got access to Kraken's pairs. They've got dollar pairs because it's a US exchange. So they've got US dollar pairs, like BTC USD. You don't have to trade with a stable coin. And I think for him, something that I would want to outline really fast is that when people think about buying crypto, they're like, oh, I'm going to buy the crypto and then it's going to go up. I'm like, no, that's not what you do. When you buy crypto, when you set your money aside to buy crypto, what you're actually doing is you're putting your money in an exchange, and then it's still money. You don't buy crypto right then and there. You have to put it on the sidelines and wait for the price to drop low. And not only are you waiting for the price to drop low, you're anticipating it dropping to a certain price. And so I'm going to go over what I did with my dad in that case. So he bought the token, and then now it's in US dollar, and he's like, all right, let's buy some crypto. And I'm like, no, we're not buying crypto. We're putting our money on the books. And he's like, okay, well, what do we do? And I was like, okay, look at the first two numbers. I'm like, okay, we're looking at Bitcoin. It's at 16,000, but we don't care about the 1,000. Just look at the 16. Okay, 16. What's half of 16? 8. He's like, okay, 8. I'm like, here's what we're gonna do. He had, he put a chunk of money in there. Only put what he could afford to lose, meaning if that money just evaporated and disappeared, not bad investments. I'm saying if a technical error, that's how much money he put in. So he put set amount of money in, boom, and then we split it up into 8 piles. So now we have got 8 piles, one big chunk of money, 8 piles. We grab one of the piles and we want to buy some Bitcoin. And so we take that pile, and I say, now take half of this little mini pile and put it at 50% off where the price is at. So at 8,000. He opens up the app on his phone. I'm screen sharing with him. I'm watching him do this. He's placing a limit buy order. Okay? He puts the money at $8,000 and some change and puts like half of one of those piles. Boom. It's done. And he's like, it'll never go that low. And I'm like, dude, it always goes that low. Like, what are you talking about? Like, not even like a year, like months. Like, within months, it just drops, exponentially, like 50%. It does it all the time. What are you talking about? It goes up that way, it goes down that way, like all the time. Like, yeah, it's probably going to go down to at least 10, if not 8. And so then, he cut that number, whatever money that he put in here, he took half of that money and put it right here, half of that money, put it right here, half of that money, put it right there. You see what I'm saying? And so he's like gradually getting into the price. And I'm like, the moment that you buy some, I want you to come up here and sell it at like, most of it, sell most of it. And we did about 8 of them, and he went through all the money. He couldn't believe that we'd gone through all the money. And I just thought to myself, like, wow, I taught him something. First off, I taught him like how to buy the crypto and put it into an exchange that's you can trade it, like how we were doing. And he wasn't just buying crypto; he was buying like a crypto stable token, or in this case with Kraken, he was buying like US dollar. Shout out to Kraken. I don't know, it wasn't a feature for him, but for me, I think it's like that company Plaid or Played, whatever they're called. Right now, my Kraken account, I can like with no fees, I can like fund my trading account for free, like no fees at all. Like I don't have to buy a stable token or anything like that. I thought that was like super cool, but I couldn't get it to work on his, and their website said that they're like rolling it out to individual accounts. So like I've had an account for like a couple of years, and like I've actively traded on Kraken. So that's really cool. I've been using KuCoin, but now I'm getting sketched out. All these exchanges are like all the news of these exchanges. That's why we've got this drop right here. I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep trading with Kraken from now on. But with that said, I just wanted to highlight, if you're that person that's like, I'm just going to buy some crypto on one of those Coinbase apps or anything like that, look, you're probably going to be fine just to do that. Like, just buy some crypto, but like, don't buy it all at once, and like set up alerts and like get notifications. Like, don't get your, notifications from the news. Like, you want to get it when it comes down, like the first go. Like, you don't want to like have it come down and then be going up and then you buy it. Like, you want it to be like coming down and then that like hits your buys. So it's like, I would like to buy some at this price. So your money is on the books, like waiting for a price to come down, like hit it. And what's funny is like somebody else that might be watching this video, they're like, oh, this is the stupidest video I've ever seen. And so that's why I've never made it. But when I was talking with my dad, I'm like, wow, I don't have a video I could show him right now. I've got a lot of videos on like, some pretty advanced stuff like screeners and this, that. He'll never use any of that. But like, if he just, heard the news and he wants to get in on some crypto stuff, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, again, just to recap, like he bought some stable coin, then he transferred it into the Kraken exchange. So he transferred like US dollar coin into US dollar. And then now he's like got his US dollar on like a couple crypto books on some exchanges like limit buy orders, and like they're scaled down 15% or 50%. And let's see. So like here's another one that we, he likes Doge. Who doesn't? And I'm like, I think it was at like maybe 7, and I'm like, okay, well let's put our lowest layer at like 3.5, right? Like 3.5. I mean, like the worst that's gonna happen is he's just gonna like have his money invested into Doge, and it'll go down even further or whatever, right? But for him it's really fun because he's able to like do the math and kind of think to himself like, okay, I've got this pile of money. What is the value of this money cut in half? okay, that's going to be 50% off of like, at the time it was like 75. And so he's like, okay, well, half of 7 is, 3.5. So he's like using his skills, and then he sees how he funded the money with the app, and then he's able to open up the trading app, and he had to do like the Google authenticator, the two-step verification and stuff like that, and he got good at it. And I'm like, oh, he's trading like a professional, and it's so stupid, but at the same time it's like, if you really do follow those rules, the one thing that I really think that we didn't really apply was like the 10x exponential layering. I feel like he wouldn't be interested in that. Like, I think he just kind of like isn't trying to like get a really good deal. I think he just wants to like feel like he's getting a good deal, but like if he misses out, I think that he's going to be like more upset than like him getting a good price. So I think to a degree, like, he feels like we're buying way too low. And so I did like set him up with like 2x exponential layering. So it's like 10, 20, 40, 80 instead of like, 1, 1, 1, 3, 10, 100, 500, you know what I mean? Like kind of 10x and like 50x and like 500x compared to like the first one that you buy, right? Like if you have 1 and then down here you've got 500, that's like 1/500th, you see in size. So it's like, for me, I would recommend for anybody that's doing this like in an advanced level, especially right now when we're getting like this bearish price action, to really, really, really consider that 10x exponential layering. Like, dig through a couple of these videos that I've posted. I do post about the Quickfingers Luc exponential layering, and it's fire. For somebody like my dad, maybe recommend it once he sees himself getting stuck in some trades where he's not really breaking even. But I think that, like, statistically speaking, that it is the most effective and lucrative layering system that I've come across, especially with like bearish price action where there might not be as many buyers in the market as sellers. It has saved my ass. So I'll just say that. I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna go to bed, but I just had to show my face, and I don't really have any updates on anything. I'm not really that type of person. But with that said, I am excited to see what happens with the market, and I'm anticipating some real juicy price action here coming up soon. So, keep those alerts set. If you don't have an alert system, download Tab Trader on your phone and just start setting some alerts up. It's free. There's lots of ways of getting alerts, but I highly recommend start setting your alerts and start placing your buy orders and layer them down, because when price gets low, it doesn't stay low. So just that's my little public service announcement. So all right, I'm gonna log off. Ralph Horcup out.